Hello, in this video, let's look at two examples of solving radical equations. So we're going to have an equation that has roots in it. And to cancel the square root, we square both sides. And since we only have one term on each side, the square and the square root cancels off, leaving us with 2x minus 7 is equal to 3x minus 12. Now to get to the x, we have to get x on one side, everything else on the other side. Let's move all the x's to the left, so we will minus 3x from both sides. That makes negative x minus 7 is negative 12. Now to cancel negative 7, we add 7 to both sides. We get negative x is equal to negative 5. But since we're looking for the x, not negative x, we multiply both sides by negative 1, and that switches all the signs, and we get our solution. X is 5. Now let's look at the answer with a calculator and see if it makes sense. So here's the calculator, and let's type in the equation. So the equation is square root of 2x minus 7, and then on the other side minus 7, 2x minus 7, and then on the other side square root of 3x minus 12. And we're looking for the place where both sides are equal to each other, so we're looking for the place where the graphs cross. Here's the first, here comes the second. They did cross in here, and we can use the calculator to find it. Second, calculate. They intersect. So let's move our cursor to the first curve. We need to see it first, and we're going a little bit more. There it is. So our blinker, is that on the first curve? We're on the blue. So enter marks it. We jump to the second. Yes. Do you want to guess? Yes, we do. And so the answer is 5. Just like we thought it would be, and that proves that we have solved our equation correctly, and we found the answer. The second example is a bit more interesting. We have two square roots, and to solve it, the easiest way to do it is to separate the square roots. So one thing we can do is we can minus the square root of 3x plus 4 from both sides. That would mean we now have square root of x plus 2 is equal to 2 minus square root 3x plus 4. Now to cancel the square roots, once again, we square both sides. On the left side we have just one term, so the square and square root cancels off. On the right side we have two terms, because these two are separated with a minus, so they're two different terms. And so canceling the root is not going to work. We actually have to multiply this out, or use a formula for the perfect square. So here we have x plus 2. On the other side we have 2 minus square root 3x plus 4 twice. And so let's just multiply the 2 out and see what comes out. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times negative square root is negative 2 square roots 3x plus 4. Negative square root times 2 is negative 2 square roots 3x plus 4. And then negative times negative is a plus, and we have the same square root twice. Now the last term, we do have just one root and one square, so these cancel off. But the first two square roots, they remain in the question. So what do we get now? Now we have x plus 2 is equal to 4, and then minus 2 more makes minus 4 square roots 3x plus 4, and then the last term loses the square root, and we just get 3x plus 4. Now let's simplify something here. We have x plus 2 is 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 3x minus 4 square root 3x plus 4. Now, to solve this, we still have to cancel the square root, which means we will be squaring again. But before we do that, let's move everything that has square roots on one side, everything that does not on the other side. So let's keep the negative square root on the right. We'll move everything else to the left. So minus in the 8, minus the 8, minus 3x, minus 3x, and that makes x minus 3x is negative 2x, 2 minus 8 is negative 6, equals to negative 4 square roots 3x plus 4. At this point, if we wish to make our life a little bit easier, we see that all of our numbers are even, 2, 6, 4, and negatives also. So if we divide both sides by negative 2, we'll switch all the signs and the numbers will get a little bit smaller. So let's divide every term by 2, by negative 2, by negative 2, by negative 2. So these cancel off, giving us positive x. Negative 2 goes into negative 6 3 times. Negative 2 goes into negative 4 twice. And then we have 3x plus 4. Now at this point we are ready to square both sides to cancel the roots. So on the left side we have x plus 3 twice. We can multiply that out. On the right side we have a multiplication. Two things are multiplied and are raised to the power 2, which means the power 2 is applicable to both the 2 and the square root. So we have 2 to the power 2 and then square root 3x plus 4 squared. So these cancel off and we now have on the left side we can multiply out. X times x is x to the 2, x times 3, 3x, another 3x, and then the 9. On the right we have 4 and then 3x plus 4. So at this point we no longer have any square roots. What's left to do is to simplify and move everything to one side. So on the left we have 3x and 3x, that's 6x plus 9, and then on the right we have 12x plus 16. Moving all the terms to the left, we minus 12x, we minus 16, and that makes x to the 2 minus 6x minus 7 is equal to 0. We can factor this or use quadratic formula. Either way would get the same answer. Let's factor because we can find two numbers that multiply to negative 7 and add to negative 6, and that would be negative 7 and positive 1. Now making each one of the parentheses equal to 0, we find our two solutions. The first is 7, the second is going to be negative 1. And we are done, except we have to check our answers to make sure they actually work. So to do this, we go back to the original question and try both of them. So here is the original question. It was square root of x plus 2 plus square root 3x plus 4. Is that equal to 2? Let's see. If we use 7, what does it do? Well, that means we now have 7 plus 2 plus square root 3 times 7 plus 4. Is that equal to 2? Well, 7 plus 2 is 9, square root of 9 is 3. And then 3 times 7, that's 21, plus 4 is 25, square root of 25 is 5. And so this says 8 is equal to 2. That's not true, which means our answer 7 does not work. This is what's known as extraneous solution. And we have to make sure to check for them and to toss them out if they do show up. Now if we try negative 1, let's see what that does. Same exact setup. X plus 2 plus 3x plus 4. Is that equal to 2? Well, if x is -1, that makes -1 plus 2, and then -3 plus 4. Well, -1 plus 2 is 1, square root of 1 is 1. That's also 1, square root of 1 is also 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2, yes. So the second solution works. This actually works. The first does not. And so our final answer is -1. Now we can also check this with a calculator just to visually see if it makes sense. So let's do that, and then we'll be done. So here is the calculator. Let's type in the two sides, clear, clear. So the first one is square root of x plus 2. And then there is plus, there is another square root of 3x plus 4. And then the other side equals to 2. And we're looking for the place where both of them cross. So here comes the root, here comes the 2, and we can see there is only one solution, not two, just one, and we can find out what that is. So let's go to second calculate and see what that intersection is. So here is the first curve, there is the second curve, guess, yes we do. So here is the answer, and just like we thought it would be, it is -1. So our calculator has confirmed our result that the answer is really -1. And that's it for this note. If you have any questions on anything, please let me know. And thank you for your time. Take care.